chase it. Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Happy Wednesday to you all. I hope that you're having an amazing day thus far. If not, it's about to get that much better. So listen, if you're watching me live, let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching me from on tonight, honey. We have some things to talk about, darling. So go ahead and comment. Let me know who's here. And listen, y'all, it's been a little minute since I've done a live stream on relationships solo. I did one with my good friend Dr. V the other day. And so I wanted to come on here tonight and touch on some things that I believe will be of great benefit to you and identifying, especially if you're someone who is a single wife. So if you're watching live, let me know where you're watching from, rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching me from tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with my intro as I always do. My name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled, single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor. And I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So welcome, everybody. Now, let me keep 100 with y'all. I need some coffee after that, honey. My throat is dry. Y'all, I just finished doing a meeting, and I was speaking for like 20 minutes, and I came straight to this. So let's get into what I want to talk to you all about tonight. Listen, every man ain't your husband. What is Sharita talking about? Well, this is the thing. As women, many times we can create an entire fantasy in our minds when it comes to certain men that come into our lives, be it through business, through church, be it through whatever. There are men that come in, and sometimes when we don't have the proper measures in place, we can choose to be in situationships or entanglements that we really had no business being in. And if we were able to properly identify who these people were in our lives, we wouldn't find ourselves in some of the situations that we were in from day one, right? And so what we have to then begin to do is identify the people that are in our lives and really ask ourselves these questions prior to engaging and giving our hearts out. Because this is the thing, right? As women, we know that we are the more emotional beings, right? Men are logical. 1 + 1 will always equal 2 for a man. Now, if you give it to a woman, she's going to say, well, I wrote that one in the color blue and I put the other one in the color red. So if I put the one red and the blue together, I'm going to end up having a totally different color. And then before you know it, everything goes left. Our emotions get involved, and now we're trying to make 1 + 1 = 3. Honey, it doesn't work that way, right? It is always going to be 2. Thank you, Miguel. And so we have to make sure that we are positioning ourselves in such a way to identify the men that come into our lives so that way we don't allow ourselves to get heartbroken. Oh my gosh, it's super easy to get our heart broken, our feelings all messed up because we don't make somebody, our husband, in our head that ain't even thinking about us like that. Can I keep it real with y'all? I know I'm not the only one that's been there, right? So why do we do that? Why do we create these fantasies in our minds? Why is it that we can't see from day one if someone's actually for us or not? Well, our desires get in the way. Can we be real? Especially when you start getting you a certain age and you start feeling like, listen, honey, it's been a while. I done been single for a minute. I don't know if it's going to happen. And then someone comes in and it's like, oh my gosh, is this my knight in shining armor? Now, meanwhile, the person may have been the person to come in your life to help you, in your way you have confidence, maybe help you in your prayer life, whatever. But we done said, nope, I'm going to make you my husband. And before you know it, things get shattered. So how are some great ways to identify if this person actually is my husband, right? Well, let's do this. The first thing you might want to consider is this. Does he ignite your purpose or your flesh? I'm going to sip on this one, honey. Now, make sure you go ahead and share this video now. Does he ignite your purpose or your flesh? Because this is the thing. Someone could come in your life right now. And when you think about that person, all you think about is, ooh, man, he's fine. Hey, Queen Rose. Like, ooh, he fine. Ooh, we could do a lot of stuff together. Ooh, and he drive a nice car. Ooh, he love his mama. So now we don't went ahead again, made him this husband in our minds because he ignited our flesh. We started thinking about how cute our babies will look together. Or if my baby has my eyes and his nose, we created a whole family, y'all, a whole family. But the question we really should be asking is, does he ignite my purpose? Can he actually flow with the call on my life? And the problem is, a lot of us can't even get to that question because we don't even know what our purpose is. I'm gonna go ahead and sip on that too. You don't know what your purpose is. You're not actually living in your purpose. So you don't have your purpose there to align with this man or not. So you have to ask yourself, is this person igniting my purpose or my flesh? And sometimes the answer is not what we want to hear. Sometimes it's like, but you know, if I pray a little bit longer, I mean, I could go on a fast. That's right. Are we in alignment? Exactly. I could go on a fast, and maybe if we fast real quick, you know, God's going to touch his heart a little bit. And this is what we do. We start rationalizing things that are clearly before us. And it's like, sis, don't do it. So ask yourself, is this person in alignment? Do they ignite my purpose or my flesh? And see, this is the other thing. Identifying why they're there. Sometimes they're just the assignment. How many of y'all have ever found yourself in a situation with the assignment and you don't went ahead and say, you know what? No, this is going to be mine today. We made the assignment and we took the assignment home and said, nope, you're going to be my spouse. Anybody? I've been there. See, the assignment comes because perhaps you were needed in that person's life to help them get somewhere else. Maybe your ability to encourage, inspire, ignite a vision. Maybe your ability to show him what he's good at that maybe he didn't see before. Maybe you were just there to kind of, you know, blow the dust off over the dreams and help him rise up, right? Maybe that's what it was. Or perhaps it could be the other way around. Maybe the assignment is that he came to help you. Maybe he came to remind you of how amazing you are. Maybe he came to remind you of what's actually possible. Perhaps he's in your life because you need to see in the flesh someone who has a lot of what you actually want. Maybe you need to find someone else who had the great faith, maybe who had the vision, who had the money, who had the charisma, whatever the case may be. You need to see it because let's be real for a moment. If you're someone who is very particular about what you want, and some people are telling you that your standards are too high and that, you know what, you need to kind of, you know, maybe you're just doing a little too much. Sometimes you could almost believe them if you don't see the manifestation in the flesh. So sometimes God will allow someone to come into your life to show you the possibilities of what you said you wanted, but not necessarily supposed to be for you. Come on, somebody. Now, the thing with that is, that could be disheartening if you don't have the proper lens. Because if you see that like, oh my gosh, why would this amazing person come into my life, but yet they're still not for me? Well, they're there to encourage you in the process. They're here to encourage you as you go, right? And so you have to figure out, well, is this person, you know, the assignment, or are they actually assigned? Right? Knowing the difference makes a world of a difference, right? Because what's assigned to you is yours. Ladies, you are bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh. So whoever your husband is, that's that. He's assigned to you. You are assigned to him. In fact, you come from him, right? Great difference. Now, what are some other great ways to identify if this person can actually be your husband? Well, what does their life look like now prior to you showing up? Prior to you showing up, is he already a good provider? Now, I know that we live in 2020 and we have all these super powerful, independent women. And I know that you can do everything by yourself. And I know that many of you, don't want to necessarily have him pay the bills. I know everybody's different. As for me and my house, honey, my husband's paying all of the bills, okay? My husband is a dynamic provider. Not only is he a dynamic provider, he takes great pleasure in providing. Come on, somebody. He takes great honor in providing. So, one of the key things that you want to look at is he a great provider now? Right? Is he a great provider now? Is he a great leader now? Can he lead his own life? If he can't even lead his own life, honey, where's he going to lead you? I'm going to sip on that one. If he can't even lead his own life, where is he going to take you? The husband, in my opinion, and in alignment with biblical teaching, is the leader. He's the head. So if this man is not able to lead his own life, where am I going to go follow? What am I submitting to? Because see, I'm all for submission when it's done properly, right? And so the word submission, you break it down, sub and mission. Sub means to be under, right? Like a submarine, under. So I'm under a mission. He has to be fulfilling that mission. Is he in mission? Is he leading? Is he doing anything thus far? If not, you can't be my husband. Where we going? We don't know where we're going because you don't know where you're going, right? So these are questions that we have to ask because a lot of times we'll see this. And because the nature of the woman is to help, because we are the favor, use our talents, we want to go ahead and create everything and help him because that's what we do. Sometimes it's taken out of context because we are not in the right assignment and alignment, rather. And so because of that, it causes issues. And so I'm trying to read all these comments at the same time. Right, Jennifer. And so because of that, we end up in the wrong situation because he can't even lead himself, right? So you want to ask yourself right now, the person I'm entertaining, is he a great provider? Is he a great leader, right? Can he actually lead right now? And if the answer is yes, that might be a good thing. But if you know you're coming in trying to use all your gifts and talents to help him and he's lost and y'all trying to figure it out, there's a great chance you may not want to do that, honey. Okay, I'm just saying. It may not be the time. Maybe it's him, but just not right now. Right? So the next thing that you want to actually think about and question as you are identifying the men that come in your life, does he match my fly? Does he match my fly? I mean, honey, from physically to emotionally to spiritually, can he match me holistically? I've met people, gentlemen that were great, men of great distinction, leaders, well-to-do, but spiritually, we were off. It's like, no, that ain't going nowhere, right? Then there were others that spiritually, they were there, honey, could bring heaven down. But then emotionally, not so much. Physically, not so much. And then when it comes to the desires in life, they didn't really mesh well, right? See, as you can probably tell, I like nice things, right? I like to experience life. I like to enjoy life. I like to have fun. If there's someone that is not like that, they're more of a homebody. They're like, why do you need to go first class, let alone fly private? If they're that person, honey, we ain't going nowhere. Right? Thank you. I'm glad you love my book. Y'all need to go get the book. I'm going to talk to y'all about that in a minute. So if I can't go places with you that I enjoy, and if you think I'm doing the most because I think we should fly private, we're just not going to work. You don't match my fly, sir. If I am someone who believes in prayer and fasting and believes in spirituality, and you're agnostic, you're not going to be the one, right? So we have to really be open and honest with ourselves, because we go around making these men who are not supposed to be our husbands in our minds, and we end up being brokenhearted. We end up being, scorned, and then you end up dealing with a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't actually have to deal with. You know what I mean? And this is what happens too, going back to that whole assignment thing. Sometimes God will allow someone to come to show you that there's still residue there, to show you that you are not exactly as healed as you thought you were. So he allows that person to come into your life to be a mirror, a reflection, so that way you can deal with those things you thought you dealt with, so that way when your husband comes, you're not having to deal with that thing again. Now, we're no perfect people, but there are just certain things that we should already be healed from. There's some baggage that you may bring into your new relationship that shouldn't be there, right? And so sometimes God will allow somebody to come to remind you, oh, nope, that still is a trigger. You still feel that kind of way, right? And so you got to make sure that you're being very, very cautious of what you're doing and having those standards. These are why these questions are important, because these questions serve as standards. They serve as standards, allowing you to really see what's going on. And lastly, this is real simple, right? This is probably the simplest thing out of everything I said, yet we'll miss this all day. We'll miss this all day. Did he say it? Did he say he wants to be married? Did he say he wants to be in a relationship? Let me tell you what happens. Oftentimes, there will be men that will come into your life, and they may be attracted to you because you may be a very attractive person, whether that's physically or whether that be emotionally, you're attractive. So naturally, when there's attraction there, when there's chemistry there, it could lead to things that really aren't real. It could lead to things, it leads to ideas, but you know it's not real. How do you know it's not real? Because he said it. Men will tell you, I'm not looking for a relationship. But what do? We heard him, but what he's giving off, the energy he's giving off, the emotional space he has now acquired in our hearts overpowers the words that he said, which is, I don't want a relationship. And so we will hold on to how we feel and not what he said, not what we heard. And a man will tell you, well, I told you I wasn't looking for anything. They sure will tell you. He'll say, I told you I was looking for a relationship. Why did you think he said that? Meanwhile, he sent you good morning text. He said that. But meanwhile, he's asking you, did you eat today? I'm going to send you something. He's saying that. But he's showing up asking if you want to go out to eat. He's saying that. But he's asking you to go on vacation. But he said he don't want no relationship. So what do? We believe what he's showing us, not what he said. Remember, I started off this conversation saying this. Men are logical. Men are logical. We're the emotional ones. So his logic is, I told you I wasn't looking for a relationship. But when he has a stressful day, he calls you. So this is where we have to tap into our masculine energy and be just as logical as they are. If he says he's not looking for a relationship, take that to the bank because it'll cash. But when he wants you, he'll let you know. He'll say it. So we have to create those boundaries so that we're very clear. If this is not what you want, don't act like this. Because when you do this, this is how I feel. And since this is not what you actually want, let us not do that. What happens, ladies? Can we keep 100? The truth is, we miss somebody telling us how beautiful we look. The truth is, we miss getting the good morning text. The truth is, we miss somebody taking us out. The truth is, we miss having that intimacy, having someone there, watching a movie, going out to dinner, going out to play golf, whatever. We miss all of that. So because we miss it, we'll entertain it, knowing it's not going anywhere. So the boundaries have to be set, and you cannot create this space and treat this man like your husband when he said it from day one. That's not what he's looking for. Period. Don't get caught up. And it's easy to get caught up. It's easy for us, especially if you're dealing with a real, real strong masculine energy. He comes real strong. It's innate in you for the feminine energy in you to be drawn. And so naturally, you're going to want to do everything. You done wrote out the business plan. You done wrote out the ministry. I done got the church together, got the logos going on. You done went on a fast. You done did everything for a man that ain't your husband. So we have to be mindful and be real with ourselves with what the current situation is. And be willing to speak. Be willing to ask those questions. Be willing to say, you know what? I know you said that you weren't looking for, a relationship, but you seem to be doing things that people in relationship do. And if that's not where we're going, I think we shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be calling me after 10. If we're not talking about, work, business, whatever, church, school, whatever, we don't need to be talking. You have to do that. It's not comfortable, but it will save you from some stuff later on that you didn't have to actually deal with. Ask me how I know. So listen, ladies, I hope that this has been a blessing to you. I pray that you literally choose to ask the questions so that way you're not caught up with a fantasy world that is not going to be a reality, right? We can avoid a lot of the hurt that we get into. And if you have not purchased any of my books, you need to go ahead and get my best-selling book, How to Be the Wife That Every Good Man Wants to Find, or Prayers and Notes to My Future Husband. I think I kind of might want to do one. Let me see. I was not prepared. I may want to actually do one of my prayers to my book tonight to encourage as we wait. Let's see if I can find it. I can find it. Let's see. Yes. So, y'all, I don't have it in front of me. I mean, I was going to do one with you, but I think we'll do that another time. So listen, go get the book. I may come back. And I used to do this often. I used to do Praying for Our Husbands live. I may bring that back. If y'all wanted me to bring that back when we do the declarations for our husbands, single wives, put a number 1 in the chat box. If you want to come together and pray for our husbands, put a number 1 in the chat box, and we will start doing that again. So yes, absolutely. All right, y'all. Listen, this was fun. And if you've been wondering, what am I sipping on, honey? I'm sipping on my Capri CBD coffee. Get you some. It'll bless your entire life, okay? Thank you for watching, y'all. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Be blessed, everybody.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire.
Get your money. Get your money.